I love creating the podcast. If you have enjoyed the episodes in any way, the best way to support me is my subscription link. For as little as $3 a month, you can help support the time and production cost included in producing the podcast. My name is Barbara Ann Briggs, and I'm a certified teacher of transcendental meditation and a certified consciousness advisor. I'm also the author of 3 books: Pilgrimage on the Path of Love, a novel of visionary fiction, The Contribution of Maharshi's Vedic Science to Complete Fulfillment in Life. This book has over 100 quotations by Maharshi with very simple, clear explanations of all the fundamental concepts of Maharshi's Vedic science. My 3rd book is called Guide to Good Health, and it gives all the fundamental principles of Ayurveda. I'm also the host of a YouTube channel called Living Wisdom, and I have a podcast called Essence of Life. The subject of today's podcast is education for enlightenment. Maharshi says, and I quote, "An individual whose consciousness is fully developed is an enlightened individual, and this full enlightenment, which develops the ability to achieve anything, should be the goal of education." End quote. Maharshi's Vedic science-based education provides the fundamental value which has been missing from education for countless generations. This fundamental value is the knowledge, understanding, and experience of consciousness. The process of education takes place in the field of consciousness. Consciousness is the basis of knowledge. Consciousness is the container of knowledge. Knowledge is structured in consciousness. The basis of full knowledge is the full development of consciousness. The aim of Maharshi's Vedic science-based education is to unfold the full creative genius in the individual by raising the level of consciousness to the state of enlightenment. In the state of enlightenment, one spontaneously lives in perfect accord with all the laws of nature. One does not violate natural law, and therefore one does not create the basis for problems, mistakes, and failures in life. Maharshi's Vedic science-based education is enlightenment-oriented education. The goal of this system of education is to create ideal citizens of the nation who are able to spontaneously think and act in perfect accord with natural law in a progressive and evolutionary way, and are capable of contributing maximum to the growth of society as a whole. Maharshi has said, and I quote, "Through the regular practice of the transcendental meditation technique in 20-minute periods twice a day, any individual can transform disorderly functioning of the brain to total orderliness and coherence." Maharshi's Vedic science-based education offers the holistic value of knowledge to every individual. The holistic scope of Maharshi's Vedic system of education includes both intellectual understanding and direct experience of the field of pure intelligence, the field of pure consciousness. It includes both the theoretical and the practical approach to gaining complete knowledge. The Vedic theme of education includes the Vedic theme of gaining knowledge. The Vedic theme of education starts from the self, the field of pure intelligence, which is the source of all the diverse expressions of intelligence in the whole universe. The path of gaining knowledge proceeds from knowledge of the self to knowledge of the Ved, to knowledge of the universe, and in order to gain complete knowledge, one then returns from knowledge of the universe to knowledge of the Ved, to knowledge of the self. During the practice of transcendental meditation, the student opens his awareness to transcendental consciousness, the self-referral state of pure consciousness, in which consciousness is fully wide awake within itself. Transcendental consciousness is easily, naturally, and effortlessly experienced during the practice of transcendental meditation. During the practice, the mind experiences quieter and quieter levels of the thinking process until the mind transcends thinking completely and experiences unbounded awareness, the very source of thought. It is a state in which awareness is aware of itself and nothing else. Consciousness is completely self-referral. Consciousness is conscious of itself as one unbounded ocean of pure intelligence, expanded in all directions, fully awake within itself to itself. Transcendental consciousness is a state of all knowingness, a state of pure inner wakefulness in which the self knows itself. The experience of the self-referral state of pure consciousness is the direct experience of the very basis of all knowledge. By enlivening the basis of knowledge first, Maharshi's Vedic system of education prepares a stable foundation on which the fullness of knowledge can grow. If the foundation of knowledge is weak, unstable, not profound, then the subsequent expressions of knowledge will always be incomplete, and they could even be dangerous. There is an old proverb which says, "A little knowledge is a dangerous thing." Throughout history, the danger of partial knowledge has been evident in the realm of scientific advancements, which have provided partial benefits to human life, but often at the cost of considerable damage to the environment. Partial knowledge can at best offer only partial solutions to the problems of society. Only by strengthening the very basis of all expressions of knowledge, the field of consciousness, can the expressions of knowledge be comprehensive enough to enrich the holistic value of life. Modern science-based education provides knowledge of the outer, objective aspect of reality, the known, but it ignores the inner, subjective aspect of life, the knower. Modern science-based education requires the individual to amass more and more information, more segments or parts of knowledge, while the very basis of knowledge remains hidden from view and the knower shrouded in ignorance about himself. Maharshi's Vedic science-based system of education provides an integrated approach to gaining complete knowledge of the knower, the process of knowing, and the known. while modern science-based education uses a fragmented approach to gaining knowledge of the objective aspects of life. Maharshi's Vedic science-based education gives importance to both the growth of knowledge and the growth of the container of knowledge, the consciousness of the student. Consciousness is the basis of knowledge. If the consciousness of the student is dull, tired, stressed, then the knowledge will not be properly received. It will be like trying to project a clear image on a hazy screen. If his own consciousness, the container of knowledge, is not wide awake within itself, his attention span will be short and his motivation to learn will be limited. Whereas, if consciousness is fully alert, the process of gaining knowledge will be both successful and fulfilling. The regular experience of transcending expands the conscious capacity of the mind so that the full range of the mind, from the surface active thinking level to the silent, unbounded depth of consciousness, is always lively. Knowledge is for action. Action is for achievement. Achievement is for fulfillment. The purpose of knowledge is to enhance, enrich, and expand one's enjoyment and fulfillment in life, and to gain the ability to contribute maximum to the growth of society. Maharshi's Vedic science-based education offers the fruit of all knowledge to every individual. The fruit of all knowledge is the ability to spontaneously express the infinite organizing power of nature's intelligence in individual intelligence. All natural processes are governed by the law of least action. When individual life gains perfect attunement with natural law, life flows effortlessly in the direction of achievement and fulfillment. One is not required to exert great effort or to struggle in order to achieve one's aims in life. The principle of do less and accomplish more is naturally exemplified in one's daily activity. Maharshi has said, fruit of all knowledge is the ability to live mistake-free life in higher states of consciousness, daily life in full accordance with all the laws of nature, with the spontaneous ability to do everything right and achieve anything. End quote. By enlivening the unified basis of all finite expressions of intelligence in the universe, in one's own awareness, one gains the ability to own all knowledge in one brain. Nothing in the universe feels foreign to one who has enlivened the unified level of all the laws of nature in the self-referral state of pure consciousness. Maharshi's Vedic science-based education, which is education for enlightenment, establishes a very intimate connection between the individual and the universe. It provides the direct experience of the wholeness of intelligence and the intellectual understanding of the relationship between the parts, the multifold expressions of intelligence, and the wholeness which underlies, governs, and supports every expression. When the full potential of natural law is enlivened in human awareness, individual life will always flow in an evolutionary direction, and the individual will enjoy increasing waves of success and fulfillment. Violation of natural law results in mistakes, problems, sickness, and suffering. Attunement with natural law strengthens, nourishes, and brings balance to every aspect of individual life. The basis of an integrated, harmonious, and enlightened society is the perfectly harmonious and integrated development of the individuals in society. Only enlightened individuals can create an enlightened nation. Maharshi's Vedic science-based education is education for enlightenment. It develops wholeness in the life of the learner. Through the full development of consciousness, the most fundamental element of life, Maharshi's Vedic science-based education strengthens, integrates, and correlates the material, intellectual, and spiritual values of life and establishes the knower as the embodiment of all knowledge. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to this podcast, and I'd also like to invite you to my YouTube channel, Living Wisdom with Barbara Briggs. And you're also invited to come to my website, barbaraannbriggs.com, where you can download the first chapter of my book, Pilgrimage on the Path of Love. It's been a great pleasure speaking to you as always, and I look forward to speaking to you again very, very soon. Until we meet again, very, very best wishes to you.